Hello and welcome to another episode of Super Sanctum Tower Defense here. This is a square map. I have actually played this level. The reason I've played this level and you have not seen a video of it is because my video editing or video recording software crashed after only 47 seconds. It didn't alert me to the fact it had done so. So unfortunately that episode was kind of lost in the wind. I can't remember if I did any power-ups that you haven't seen, but those are the power-ups we are running currently. These are the bits we are running. I can't remember if we explained the explorers. I'm kind of not going with those. They may have popped up on another level that we spoke about. This particular run, they might actually be quite useful now that I've actually played it. They might be relatively useful. But we're not going to take them just yet. Now, this is the layout, and they are not giving me a lot of cash yet again. I can block off all of these. Except one. Now what I'm going to do is block off that path so they all have to go around that way. I am then going to have that one open and then block off all of these. Now the reason I've done that is because like I say, I've kind of seen what there is to see, and I don't know that I'm actually going to beat it because I don't know how to actually defeat it, if I'm honest. No, I've seen it. Okay, so they have to come up there. I am glad I get all these free, I have to say. Ooh, yes. I think that's how it's gonna go. And what this pattern should allow us to do is, no matter where we put any of our towers, they will fire on both sides, which will mean double damage if they have the ability to do so. So what are we going to do? I think we'll put one right by the entrance there, which will zap them on both sides. We will put one on the corner here. We'll put one on the corner there. Put a little slowdown. I do kind of want some machine gun fire in there. Hopefully we'll get some power-ups and whatever, so I'm going to speed this up because I do have a long walk to get to us. I can actually lay the bombs down here so that they actually take a bit of a beating before we get to them. It's mostly these armoured ones we've got to kind of keep an eye on. Okay, so that tower can't see over into that lane. Just need a little bit more time to be able to do something about these dudes. That is kind of unfortunate. Oh well, there is. Oh, I forgot. I forgot that we actually have a couple of towers down the bottom here. That, because we did it on both sides, they will actually get another shot at this guy. I am just going to drop that there though. Okie dokie. So we managed to get through that first wave untouched, which is phantasmic. We have two floaters, whatever they call them. They're a pain in the ass. 10 of those are not too bad unless they come out in threes. 12 of those isn't too bad unless they come out in twos and threes. The issue again we have here is that we haven't been given a whole lot of cash to really necessarily deal with the situation particularly well. So strategic placing of towers relatively important. Stick one there. I could maybe do with having some of those larger guns that we haven't used in a while that can see quite some distance on a level like this. I did actually make it to level 10 in my playthrough that didn't record. So I hopefully won't see a loss here before level 10 at the very least. Extra bit of cash, reasonably helpful. These are the last few dudes. Let's just freeze him there, drop some energy. Good. I think last time by this sort of wave level, I had actually already kind of half died. My core was in a much worse state. 7 of those, gonna be a pain in the ass, no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. One of those there. I might use the other cache to couple more Gatling guns down. Go from there. See how this turns out for us. Speed this up a little bit. I don't know if you noticed, but those guns do catch the odd person walking down this side, so they do kind of fire on 2 levels. Seven of these bad boys, proper pain in the ass to deal with. I'd imagine we will take some core damage at this point. I just don't have the cash to really do very much about any of it, really. Yep, ended up taking a little bit of damage. That's really unfortunate. A little sliver of damage done. We're not going to get that perfect score if we actually complete this level, which is not a foregone conclusion at this point at all. Now, 6 of those, they're going to come straight out of there. There's going to be no walking around for them. So we're going to kind of have to do all those relatively quickly. Stick one of those right on the doorway. And they don't have a far enough vision. Need to bother with that. And then another one of these. Stick it there. I imagine we will see some damage done to the core here because these hoverers are a proper pain. I don't know that they have a massive energy, but they don't seem to take damage all that much. just got to kind of let these run a little bit, really. I think all our hoverers are actually out on the board here. Yep, a little bit more damage. As I say, not surprised. They don't seem to really take a whole lot of damage. But now we've kind of had some damage done to the core, I don't suppose it matters too much in terms of we were not going to get a perfect score at this point anyway. That's more damage I didn't want done, but what can you do? We're on wave 4. Core has taken a little bit of damage. It's not the end of the world as yet. Let's grab that cash. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more cash for completing the level as well. Excellent. Ugh. Goddamn mutators. They caused me no end of grief. I'm going to put in gun over there in the hope that it can do some damage. Put in one of those there. I'll put another one in centrally over here. Gonna stick in a couple more slowdown pads and upgrade that puppy. The mutator essentially needs to die as quickly as possible, really. These guys are going to be a pain. That's why the mutator needs to die as quickly as possible, but we don't seem to be doing a particularly good job of murdering it thus far. I really do expect some damage to be done here to the core. Those mutators, unfortunately, make some of these dudes far too powerful for my underpowered weaponry to really deal with. As you can see, these slightly green ones have been mutated and they are waltzing through the damage. go, 2 more hits. I think he'll make it as well. So that's unfortunate. We did take some damage to the core there, more so than you'd maybe want to. No mutators this round. There are more coming, I'm sure of it. So we're just going to laden up the pathway again with as much damage as is humanly possible. Need to slow stuff down. Okie dokie. These armoured big walkers are going to be a pain for sure. I am hoping we're going to be able to deal with them though with what we've got on the board currently. Just scrambling along. There's not really much for me to say or do really, apart from just hope that whatever we can do here will be enough. We can't take too much more damage to that core really. There's only 8 more creatures left. A lot of them are those kind of heavier walkers though. Hopefully those 2 will die. Excellent. Okay, this doesn't look too bad. We might actually have enough damage between here and the end. Let's just speed this up to do that. So that's fine. Healers are a pain in the ass. There's 4 of them. 21 of those little dudes. The soakers might be a bit of a pain. what I am going to do may seem strange, but I'm going to put a couple of those over there. Basically just looking to slow stuff down as it goes past weaponry. Cool. Soakers are an obvious painful point in terms of their health and whatever else. The healers could make that far worse for us. If they get anywhere near those soakers. The healer just literally put all their health back. But you know, I guess that's the pain of them. Weren't able to reach our soakers, which is good. Once they start getting into this eventual gauntlet of death, I'm kind of hoping we can get rid of those healers relatively quickly. Need that healer to die before he gets anywhere near that soaker. How did they avoid that frigging mine? Healer's making my life an absolute misery. Really need him to get away from that soaker. We're on wave 7. We shouldn't take any more damage this wave. Going to wave 8, that's a pretty good position to be in for the most part. Excellent. Now, we've got the essential problem of these goddamn mutators and these armoured dudes. If they start mutating the armoured dudes, we are in proper trouble. I'm going to slow that entire section down. Again, there's no weaponry there, so you might be thinking that's a bit crazy, but you will see why, hopefully, I choose to do these things. Electric guns for everyone. Might be able to get a few shots off over there. He's already mutated 2 of them. He's going to start mutating stuff. It's going to be an absolute shitstorm towards the end. Ugh, he would pick one of those dudes to do it to, wouldn't he? It was always a possibility, it was always a likelihood. I think they can only mutate them once though, so I think to a certain point they can't get too much more powerful than they already are. I mean, I'm managing to kind of wear these front runners out, but the problem is these ones at the back having virtually no damage done to them. I wouldn't mind betting that a couple of these are going to make it through. Those 2 mostly. Probably my concern. Stupid mutators. We're on wave 8. So as long as we don't get any damage in wave 9, even if these 2 make it through, we should be alright. Good. Now then, we have healers and hoverers. Now that's a pain in the arse as a combination of shit. There you go. So what are we going to do? We are going to do what we usually do, which is just hammer them with as much artillery as we can. In the hope that we can murder them at some point. I don't mind the healers hitting creatures that haven't even been shot yet, that's fine by me. More annoying when they actually hit stuff that's been damaged in some way, shape or form. The floaty things are like the most annoying and difficult enemies to kind of handle. I don't know if it's the amount of health they have or whether they can only get shot in a certain place or whatever else, but they seem to be a royal pain. Okie dokie, so I have seen this, because as I say, there was a bit of a cock up. The charger, shit tons of energy, duplicates itself. Duplicating itself is a really bad situation for us. A really bad situation for us. But perhaps worse than that is the fact that it well, maybe I won't spoil it for you. Maybe you'll have the pleasure of seeing that for yourself. We don't have the cash. We'll have to hope we get some cash along the way. We have one of the quickest bosses ever in here with some of the heaviest in terms of energy. We are going to freeze that, we are going to drop energy on it. Stick him in reverse. Need to try and keep him away from as much as possible. I mean, you can see how devastatingly quick this guy is. Which is why I said I don't know how I'm going to actually complete this level because I don't know how I can really stop him from moving at that pace. Okay, well, he didn't take the he didn't take the core out. He just duplicated himself, which, you know, could mean more damage to the core overall, but it does give us slightly more time, perhaps, to deal with it. Boom! Unexpected. I have to say, I was expecting utter death there, so the fact that we've actually completed this, I'm quite pleased with that whole situation. I really didn't expect that to happen at all. We've unlocked another point we can spend, we've got another map to look forward to. That's all in the next episode. I will see you there.